Hello and welcome to Illuminate Your Truth, a spiritual podcast for truth seekers and awakening souls. Welcome. So, today's episode, I really wanted to talk about transformation and also manifestation. Ooh, okay. And I also want to talk a little bit about the divine masculine and the divine feminine energies within us, and how working with these energies can help us achieve our dreams and crush our goals. So, let me just talk to you guys a little bit about where I am at. Personally, I'm at this point in my life where I am no longer letting fear rule me. I realized a few months ago, it might have been longer, it may have been a year ago, that I was bored with my life. And I didn't really like a lot of the things that were going on in my life. And I was bored. I was unhappy with some aspects too, but I wasn't really making an effort to change anything. I was just kind of doing the same thing and living the same life, expecting things to change. Well, it doesn't really work like that. So, I prayed a lot for clarity about certain situations in my life. And, slowly I received the guidance. It was a very, I'm still getting clarity though on everything. So I feel like it's just been months of things being unveiled, and in my face and shown to me. And, I had to make my own judgments upon what I saw as the truth. But I did really want the truth. And I received that in lots of aspects of my life. So the topic of transformation, I am currently in the phase of just not letting fear stop me from achieving my dreams, and not letting fear stop me, not letting myself stop me, because I am my biggest obstacle. I've realized I definitely struggle with self-sabotage. I talk myself out of a lot of things. And, whenever I was trying to manifest the life that I'm now actively pursuing, I daydreamed a lot. And I had moments where I would be alone and I would just focus on okay, how do I want to see myself in a year or two? What do I want to be doing that I could learn and do well in, this amount of time? What do I see myself doing? And what is fun? What may be a lot of work now, but end up really releasing a lot of playful energy within me. And, I just daydreamed, and I thought about what I would like to be doing. And it took months for me to actually clarify what it actually was that I wanted and what I would be willing to work for to get. And for me, I'm very particular because I have to be passionate about any type of work, any type of work, because I need that passion to get me through the rough times, because if I'm passionate about something, nothing can stop me. And so, I really was just I had to narrow it down. I have my hand in a lot of things. I'm a Gemini moon, so I'm trying to always do 15 things at once. I had to narrow it down. And, the things that I narrowed it down, yes, they did include work. Some included less work. Some included more work. And the other things were just for me. And it's whoa, that's crazy. I could never see myself dedicating something to myself as far as working to improve on things physically, playing an instrument or learning some type of martial art. martial arts, which is actually, those are the two things that I'm doing. So the two topics of interest for me that are just for me was learning the drum set. I'm in a band, Caffeine and Tourmaline. We are on Instagram, so go ahead and look us up, Instagram, Facebook. Caffeine and Tourmaline. I am the drummer. I started out playing hand drums. I've been playing hand drums for over 5-6 years, maybe longer than that. I'm really bad with time, like timing things. Oh God. But so I played hand drums, and all of a sudden everybody, everybody's like, I could see you playing this set, and I'm like, well, that's an interesting idea, and then I started like seeing myself playing it, and I was like, oh, that's pretty badass. Like, I think that would be really cool. And then I started playing it, and I actually wasn't that bad. So I'm learning the drum set, and I see myself being really good at it. So I'm really excited to learn to play an instrument. It's definitely not something that I've played the hand drums, but no other instruments really. But yeah, I want to get really good at it. And so, I'm doing the things I need to do to improve on that. And so that's one focus. And then another focus is I would love to learn jiu-jitsu and actually compete. This is something totally foreign to me. I've never taken any type of martial art. And, I just really love it. And so I've just been dedicating a lot of time to that. And, and I want to dedicate more time to it. So, just learning the things that I really enjoy doing and focusing. I think focus is a huge thing in manifestation. So find the things that you want to do, learn, experience, and create your goals, for that. But also, you got to get the fear to kind of settle down. Because that's like a huge barrier when you don't receive your manifestations. You also have to really, really handle your worthiness and whether or not you actually feel worthy of the things that you desire. Are you worth it? Do you feel like you are worth, paying for lessons for yourself, paying for classes for yourself? Do you feel worthy of that, or do you feel like that's just you can't spend your money on that? Why not? So it's really manifesting what you truly desire. You really have to check in with your worthiness and what you feel you're worthy of, because if you don't feel worthy of the things that you desire, you're probably not going to get them. And you really have to really go within and define what that is for you, and what do you feel worthy of. What do you not feel worthy of? And go in there, and you may have to do some inner child healing, some inner child work, or some type of healing. But I feel like that's a huge thing that gets in our way, other than self-sabotage and fear. So yeah, your worthiness. Check in with yourself and see what that is for you, what that means for you. But yeah, so seeing yourself as this person, agreeing that this is what we're gonna do, this is the life that I want, and going for it. So I feel like in the beginning of that dreaminess is that divine feminine energy, that dreamy energy that is full of ideas and imagination, and allows you to kind of go off into that daydream and create that life that you want. And then after you see it and you have that vision, call on that divine masculine energy, because we do live in a dual world here. You can't just focus on the divine feminine and the receiving and not put in any action. or not put out any action. So you have to connect with that divine masculine energy and actually go for it. Actually get out there, be seen, do things. Like, I mean, it doesn't matter how small. If you're creating a website, go on there every day and do something little to tweak it or to create your website. You have to take physical action. That's why it's so important to balance your divine feminine, divine masculine energies, because especially with manifestation, because it requires both. And I'm not saying don't use that divine feminine energy to receive, because a lot of times you're going to just receive things all the time when you're in that flow of getting what you want, when you're in that vibe of I'm working hard for myself, I'm working hard, and I'm going to crush these goals, I'm going to create the life that I would want, and I'm going to live it. But you got to do the work too, and call on those divine masculine energies. I really enjoy calling on my spirit guides for help with this. So whenever I really need that push of like, Elena, get up off the couch. Yes, I struggle with getting up and moving sometimes. Sometimes I just want to sit and like be in my thoughts, but I can't, you can't be there all the time, or else you won't get anything done. So, I call on Archangel Michael is one of my main spirit guides, especially with divine masculine. He really helps me to get on track. He helps protect me, gives me really amazing guidance. I also like to work with Archangel Metatron to get me physically moving, to get me active, and to really they both have a very fatherly energy for me personally, and so sometimes I really need that push. And I also call on my dad, because my dad was a Capricorn, and my dad was like so about like hard work, and I always call on him too, because I always hear him pushing me, and I really appreciate that, and I love him for it. But call on those divine masculine energies that vibe with you, and see if they can help you. Always remember that the angels are here for us, and all we have to do is call them in. Like, they really do want to help us. It is definitely something that they're here for, and don't feel bad about it. Like, at first I was like, I don't want to call on them, I call on them too much, they're gonna like get mad at me. And it's like, no, it's really not like that. Okay, like, they're here for humanity. Like, they really do want to help us shift into a higher consciousness. They really want us to be okay. But we have free will on this earth, and so we have to call them in, unless it's like some divine intervention stuff where, like, I do believe that angels step in and do save people and stuff like that. But ultimately, call on them. I just made a post about how to connect with the angelic realm, more specifically how to connect with Archangel Michael. So head on over to my Instagram page, Rose Priestess Path, also my Facebook page, Rose Priestess Path, and feel free to follow, I always post different tips and things like that on my posts. I have a website coming up soon here I'm working on. But yeah, so definitely stay tuned if you're into any type of like spiritual guidance in that way of like learning how to connect with deeper, with higher energies. That's definitely a topic that I really enjoy. So be sure to follow me on those social media avenues so that we can connect, and you guys can get some really cool tips on just expanding your awareness, expanding your consciousness, because that's why our souls are here, are to evolve and to become what we're here to do, what we're here to be. But yeah, transformation, using those divine energies to assist you in manifesting your dreams, your desires. But ultimately, in the end, yes, it's up to you. You got to work hard, and you got to go out there and be that you visualize yourself being. Start with little steps. You don't have to do like crazy things, just kind of ease your way into it if you need to. But you're doing it for you, and that is so important, and it's a beautiful thing. And transformation is definitely scary, but I feel like once you step out there and you do a bunch of scary things, it becomes kind of addictive, and then you're always wanting to do like scary things or things that get you nervous. It's almost like an adrenaline rush. I feel like now I'm out singing karaoke, which is something that I would have never done a year ago. I would never go to a bar that I never went to before and sung karaoke in front of a bunch of people. It just amazes me that that's happening. But you kind of get addicted to the rush, and it's like, okay, what is the next scary thing that I should do? If it gets you nervous, if it gets you like scared and like you're freaking out a little bit, then it's probably something that you should be doing. But allow yourself to do those things, because you're going to prove to yourself that you can do stuff, and that's just so good for your self-confidence, and it's so good for you, and that's how you're going to learn, and that's how you grow. So if you're in this transformation phase of your life, just know that you can do anything that you put your mind to. You can do anything because you deserve everything. You deserve the world, and know that you are worthy and you are capable. You're not alone. You have spirit guides with you, ancestors. They love you, and they're always there. All you have to do is call on them and ask them to help, because they really do want to help you. And just allow that in. Just allow that help. And focus on your dreams, your goals, and do you. Thank you for joining me for this conversation. I really enjoyed expanding on this, talking about transformation, divine feminine, divine masculine. I hope to have a couple more episodes out for you guys here. Sorry I took a little hiatus. I was living life doing... Well, I guess I just told you guys what I was doing. But thank you for joining me, and I hope you guys have a wonderful holiday. We have the holidays coming up here soon. So have a phenomenal holiday, and I hope to be speaking to you all soon. All right. Love you guys. Bye.